This is a fight that boxing fans across the world have been waiting for such a long time. It's not often we get to witness a young heavyweight prospect such as this go up against an established legend in the ring. Are you ready for the ultimate David and Goliath matchup? Big versus small, man versus giant? But who could we be talking about here? Well, if you haven't guessed already, this is none other than the hungry and ferocious young prospect, Ajagba, going up against the established boxing genius and world-renowned Gypsy King, the incredible, the unbeatable Tyson Fury. But how, we hear you ask? How can a young prospect such as Ajagba gain the opportunity to face up to Fury in the ring? Well, unless you've been living under a rock these past few years, Ajagba has been busy making a name for himself, absolutely tearing his way through the lower end of the heavyweight division. This is a young man who is determined to tear his way to the top of the division. Ajagba doesn't just win fights, he completely obliterates his opponents. A bit like this.
And Nick Jones. Oh, no, there he goes! This one! It could be it! What a crushing right hand by Ajagba!
Time and time again, Ajagba has ended the fight with such fantastic impact. Fight fans across the world have grown to be impressed at the level of entertainment this fighter brings with his iron fists and insane punching power. There is a signature sound you can hear when Ajagba's punches connect, and very rarely is there any other outcome than seeing his opponent sent crashing to the canvas. Ajagba has been hailed as one of the best heavyweight prospects out there, viciously searching for his chance to prove his abilities and take a shot at the top. And well, suffice it to say, the opportunity has finally arrived. This is Ajagba's big chance. The young man who hails from the small town of Ughelli, Nigeria, left a humble job at his local bakery to pursue a career in heavyweight boxing. And boy, is the fight world glad he did. Just take a look at the guy here.
Oh. Are you kidding me?
That's it.
Thunder strikes! Absolutely devastating knockout, one-punch power!
What an absolute beast of a man. This is a physique of a true young warrior. Ajagba has insane reach and is loaded with heavy artillery and explosive muscle. In recent fights, Ajagba has proven his capacity to deliver power, speed, agility, and boxing IQ. Where Efe has come under criticism for his limitations, for example, where he was floored in previous fights, he has consistently shown a determination to learn from these experiences, adapt his style, and become a much better fighter. This is a man who truly deserves to showcase his talents against the best in the division. So how does he fare against the Gypsy King? Does Ajagba stand a chance? Well, we all know by now how Tyson Fury fights. This is a legend who needs no introduction at all. Tyson Fury is an absolute giant who moves like a gazelle, which is shocking for a man of his size. Fury is sharp, elusive, powerful, and as fast as Satan himself. It is an absolute mystery how such a devout man of God can resemble so closely the movements of the devil in the ring. Stepping into the ring with Fury is not something to take lightly. Even for the loudest and most confident heavyweight boxers out there, Fury is only to be faced with huge caution and awareness of the risk involved. This is something that some heavyweights have found out the hard way, as we all remember when this happened, right? Deontay Wilder is known to be one of the most ferocious heavyweight boxers out there today. This is a man who knocks his opponents down like bowling pins in a local arcade room. We've said it before and we'll say it again. Deontay Wilder is the Pablo Picasso of knockouts and the Sith Lord of heavyweight takedowns. Up until this day, the only way Wilder's opponents were leaving the ring was in a stretcher. But what happened when he went up against Tyson Fury? Well, as we all know, the first fight ended in a draw, but fight fans across the world hold the common belief that Fury should have been given the win by the judges. Some say Fury was robbed of his victory. If this wasn't enough, Fury went on to absolutely demolish Wilder in a second fight shortly afterwards. This was an absolute shocker of a fight for the boxing world. At this point, many were still unconvinced that Fury would be able to regain the former glory of his heavyweight boxing career and prove to the world that he still had what it takes to be the best in the world. But this second fight against Wilder really spoke for itself. We saw Fury come out with full force, putting insane pressure on Wilder from the very beginning to the very end of the fight. For the majority of the fight, Fury proved extremely difficult for his opponent to hit and was able to land some pretty powerful punches himself. But what about Ajagba? Does this man really have no chance against the Gypsy King? Well, although Fury is widely regarded as being a fantastic boxer all around, there is one thing he is sometimes criticized of lacking. Some believe Fury does not always pack the most power in his punches. That is to say, he is not widely considered to be one of the biggest power punchers in the division. That's why the remaining few critics in the fight world who still don't recognize Fury's abilities can often be heard calling him Mr. Featherhands. They believe that Fury is not a big hitter. We'd like to see them stand against one of these punches themselves. But how does that compare to Ajagba? Well, if there's one thing FA contains in abundance, it's sheer devastating and unapologizing power. Don't take our word for it, just take a look here. Indeed, some fight fans have reported ear damage after going to see him fight. They claim this is caused by the sound of Ajagba's punches connecting. Can you imagine how loud that must be?
I mean, just muscle upon muscle, and Del Long on the opposite spectrum. And down he goes. Wow! The power evident in Efe Ajagba.
This is a heavyweight with insane punching power. Could it be possible that Ajagba holds the blueprint for defeating the Gypsy King? Does this young warrior have what it takes to show the world just how it's possible to overcome Tyson Fury in the ring? The truth is, it may take more than power alone to defeat Fury. Fury is a man with incredible heart, and this is something that the entire sport of boxing recognizes and deeply respects. It is most likely due to Fury's incredible heart that he has been able to withstand one of the biggest power punchers in the entire division. But what are we referring to now? Anyone remember when this happened? This moment will go down in boxing history as one of the most legendary exhibits of having an iron chin in the entire sport. Look at the devastating knockout punch that Wilder managed to land directly on target. And see how Fury is able to simply recompose himself and get back up? This is almost supernatural. No man has ever been hit with the force of Wilder's punches before and got back up afterwards so casually. In fact, Fury didn't just get back up, but as you can see here, he went on to absolutely dominate the fight and give Wilder a master class in heavyweight professional boxing. No one will be in a hurry to forget this moment, and perhaps that is why few believe Ajagba will be able to deal with Tyson Fury in the ring using his sheer power alone. The truth is, Efe Ajagba is still a young prospect, and there is still plenty of time for this hungry heavyweight to develop his skills and improve his style. In the meantime, we wish both legendary fighters the best of luck in their careers. What about you? Who do you think Ajagba should fight next to prove he is ready to face the top? How about Daniel Dubois or even Joe Joyce? Let us know in the comments section below. To see how Ajagba matches up against Dubois, make sure to click the link in the description below. And don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel and right hook the bell icon for future updates to our videos.